If you're looking to get into more serious wargaming, then you can't go wrong with Combat Mission Shock Force 2. Especially with the steep discount right now, it's 40% off, which means it's $35.99. And that's honestly the perfect entry level price. It's going to allow you to check the game out, play the campaigns, play some of the battles. It's feature complete, so you have the British forces, the NATO forces, as well as the Marines. I'm going to showcase some of the gameplay for you, and like I said, it walks that fine line between video game and simulator very well. Because it is a simulator and it's used in a professional environment, but it's definitely a video game at its core. It's just a really, really good video game, and it's great at what it does, and since it's so great at it, it's able to simulate combat in a really kind of professional way. So we're going to load in. This is part of one of the DLCs. It's the Marine DLC. I'm on turn 3. We're playing the real-time mode. I feel like, so there's a real-time mode and there's a turn-based mode. I really enjoy the real-time mode a lot more. As you see, we have several Marine units or squads kind of forward of our position right here. Our main objective is to secure this village. We have 49 minutes left to do that. And that's how most of the scenarios play out. You can go over, but they are basically timed. If we click on this menu button right here, we can kind of check the conditions of the terrain, because remember, since it's a simulator, your vehicles can get bogged down. They can kind of have a bad time out there on the battlefield. We can also click on briefing and kind of see what our briefing is. Some of these are very well written. Obviously, some of them aren't. Like this one, it says we don't have any reliable information on the local enemy forces. That kind of bums me out a little bit, because I don't think we'd just be walking into this village kind of half-cocked with like no armor support. But we do have some anti-tank, and I am positioning some anti-tank into this position over here. Northwest of our position, there are some enemy technicals or enemy vehicles, however you want to talk about it, up on this hillside, as you see. And then we need to secure this village, and there's also a heavy enemy presence over here. So the Marines are really, really strong. Their squads are much larger than the normal squads. As you see, they have all kinds of firepower. And we're going to kind of put them to work. We're going to hit this big red button right here and kind of just gauge where we were at. And I really just want to showcase a lot of the combat for you, because that's kind of what sells this game for me, is how much fun it is, how the combat plays out, and how realistically it simulates it all. We could talk on and on about like the combat, the way it simulates the armor penetration, the damages, all these units. Ooh, I thought that guy just got gunned down. And all the things it does very well, and how it separates itself from every other simulator out there. And as you see, those are the technicals that we were talking about up there on that hillside. So we're moving some anti-tank units into position to kind of eliminate them. So once these guys come around this corner, we are going to begin engaging them. These two units are just going to continue to suppress these enemy forces on this northeast side. And then we're going to kind of at least open up this area right here. So when I first approached this mission, obviously there is like a road right here. Kind of we can speed down it if we really wanted to. But what kind of caused me a little bit of hesitation was this like damaged vehicle right here. And the one thing that's always a bit strange about Combat Mission, or really any war game, is you don't really know what your battle space is or where first contact's ever going to be. So obviously this is our initial spawn, and it's really maybe a few hundred meters away, and then right outside this village we can see that there's already a heavy enemy presence. So we're just kind of positioning ourselves in really the only cover there is, and Combat Mission does a great job at simulating cover. So if we can kind of get these guys into position to kind of look at that hillside, they'll be able to just move and engage it. We're going to just use these trees for our cover. We don't really want to do anything too crazy. Remember, we're not in a super rush. This is a heavy machine gun. We're not going to, we might deploy that to kind of lay some fire down range and see if we can kind of eliminate some of those enemy vehicles. It looks like we did get an enemy vehicle destroyed way, way, way up here. So that's absolutely great for us. And then we're going to kind of see how some of this plays out. We're just chilling a little bit. Again, everyone into position, seeing if we can take anyone out. Let's figure out who has eyes on these guys. So these guys are able to see those vehicles back here. So if we bring these units maybe along this tree line right here, we can kind of get them into position to look that way and see what they see. So if we give them like a little face order, possibly they can do a bit of observation and just maybe launch some rockets that direction. That's really what we want them to do. A lot of people say it's a bit micro-intensive. I really enjoy the smaller scenarios. We're going to actually deploy this weapon system right here. If it's not already deployed, it's semi-deployed. And then we're going to kind of just lay into things. Let's just deploy that weapon. If we deploy it, we can kind of push them back and not have to worry too much about it. So let's see what we can do with these. See if we can target some of these vehicles. I want to just put like a RPG down range so you can kind of see what that looks like in this game. So these guys are going to deploy their weapons, and we get that penetration right off the bat. Ooh, did they hit the they hit the vehicle, or did they hit the house? It would have been super unfortunate if they would have hit that house. Let's see what happens. See if we can put another round down range. All right. Let's see if we can put a rocket through this, and hopefully we don't hit that house this time. I mean, this is really far away. All right, so we got a bit of damage, and there's a little explosion. Destroyed. Outstanding. That's actually going really, really, really well for us. I didn't think that would like hit right off the bat, so that's really good. So we're going to pause it right there, and then we're going to kind of go reassess our situation. So we've pushed these two enemy vehicles back. That kind of opens up this this area, and it allows us to cross this terrain. So let's go do that. Let's see if we can clear these targets. That's really what we want to do. We don't just want to keep dumping rounds down range. All right, they're already moving back. And then we're just going to, oh, look at that guy. He's crazy, man. We're going to deploy this machine gun. So I don't really, I mean, this is like everyone getting it all like clustered in this one position is always a bad idea. But we do need to start working our way across this open field. So let's see if we can spot some units over in this tree line. Ooh, we did suffer a casualty right there. And then we will kind of reassess our situation and go from there. We have a lot of time. There's really no reason for us to rush. We have a heavy, like, lots of vehicles over there that could cause a lot of damage to our squads. We have 49 minutes. We just need to, like, really scout this area out and really just make sure we're not being too, like, wild with our situation. So let's do a quick little recon. We're going to face our units that direction. And then we'll go from there. It's kind of strange that they're not really receiving fire from that position anymore. So I do want to start working my way across this open terrain here in a moment. Once these guys are in position, they're going to kind of face. It doesn't look like there's anything to worry about. So this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. We do need to cross this terrain, and it's super unfortunate that it has to be done this way. We can pop smoke, which means we will be out of smoke. But it's really important that you guys see what that looks like. I mean, so we're going to face, and then we're just going to click on this guy, and we're going to pop smoke. So while that smoke's deploying, we're just going to see what this guy can see. There is that vehicle over there. I wonder who can see it. These guys back here can still see this enemy technical. I don't know why these guys, maybe they don't have enough binoculars. They can't see that either. So we're going to pull them back a little bit. If we have to micro like that, that smoke might make things a bit challenging for us. So we're going to pull them back. Hopefully they can spot those vehicles. We're going to move our first platoon or our first squad of Marines across. And we're just going to go for a stroll. They're going to walk kind of casually. Right, this was one of our main things we were worried about. That's why we have this machine gun kind of semi-deployed. We really have this flank mostly covered, but once they expose themselves, they're possibly just going to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more hostile. So we may trigger a few things. So we're just going to casually stroll. I'm probably going to switch it to a quick because I don't really want to be in this open area like this. Like this kind of silly to just walk like that. So we could tell them to stop and we just say move quick. I don't think we have anyone with breaches, which is super, super unfortunate. I don't know how much firepower it would take to break this wall. All right, our first couple of Marines are off. As you see, the wind is blowing to the east. If we click our conditions, wind west. So the wind's blowing west, so we should have known. We did receive some harassing fire from that village, which is kind of strange. So there's one platoon across or one squad. We're going to send another one across. They're going to stay in that smoke, hopefully. And then we're going to send this machine gun. And like I said, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. Like with that enemy vehicle over there on that right-hand side, it's really, really just not super ideal because there's a lot of firepower we're leaving on this. So who sees that? This guy can see it from up here. Do you think we could get this AT up here and maybe get a good line of sight? We're kind of microing this AT quite a lot, which is kind of something I don't really want to do. I don't know why they're firing or who's firing at us, especially since we're in a relatively okay position. We're going to grab our commander. We're going to route them over here. And like I said, our Marines have a lot of firepower. Let's just see what we can kind of get into position. We're going to pull off this other squad. I don't really want to spend a lot of time reconning that one area. So let's start working our way around these corners. That's really the next thing we need to do. And we're just going to move. Oops, stop. It's really what we need to do. Super unfortunate that it has to be this way, but we're just going to kind of work our way around this corner and into this building and into these houses. I'm not going to try and challenge this village northwest right here because there's so much firepower that it's just not really smart. I mean, even on this hillside, coming up from this hillside, there's a lot of firepower right there, but hopefully we can kind of stack up on one of these houses. I mean, obviously there's a kill zone right there and like a kill zone right there and a kill zone right there. But I mean, there's only so much like microing around all this territory we can do. Which is just something we have to always be concerned about. We can only like assess so many things before we actually need to make a move. And there's not a gunner. I mean, we could kind of move this guy up, but there's all those recoilless rifles up there, and I don't really want to take that chance. I mean, I'd rather have that hill mostly dealt with. I mean, we could just, for fun, try and round this corner. This guy's not really going to be suppressed. So if we were to say, hey, you know, move as fast as you can into this position, like this is really dumb. So he's going to go. I was hoping he would go faster and not crash into those trees. So if we hit tab, I believe we're going to follow him in. And then we're kind of too close to those trees. We do have an RPG overwatch, but man, those recoilless rifles are just going to be an absolute nightmare. I wonder if these lines should have been much, much longer. I mean, just with how close we are to those trees and how slow he's going, that's not the movement I wanted him to have, especially going fast with that hostile unit up there. Come on, man, you gotta go. All right, flanks exposed. And then once he's in, we're gonna just keep moving. I still feel like that was really dumb. Like, that was, like, completely, like, the most ridiculous thing in this whole entire world to do. So we're going to try and get some fire. Yep, that's exactly what we thought. I didn't think they could. All right, so two-story. Two-story, there's an enemy unit. But now we're, like, committed to this, right? We're, like, super, super committed to this terrible positioning. So we know there's an enemy in that two-story, so we got to use a lot of this firepower. Try and get into position. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, do these guys have smoke? These guys still have a smoke, so we could pop a smoke, and it's going to blow west, which is going to simulate, and maybe block some of that line of sight. All right, we got fire. Where'd that fire come from? I want these guys out of that area. So we have that two-story. That two-story is our next hostile thing we need to deal with. So we're just going to keep positioning and positioning. There's nothing we really need to stress out about at this moment in time. We'll just get everyone into position. And then we will make our moves from there. It's weird. Now they can see that guy up on that hill. We could suppress with some fire, but we're not going to. Maybe these guys just aren't looking the correct direction. Look that direction. And look at all those enemy vehicles up there still. Are they still active? RPG, recoilless rifle. This one looks abandoned though. They look abandoned, which is good. Alright, that's a heavy, heavy gun. These guys are pulling back. But I mean, they can do that. Oh, goodness. Our gunner's been hit. Vehicle mounts down. Really, 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 really bad positioning right there. I mean, we could replace that. I wonder if we can get this guy into position and deploy. And we could probably suppress that hill a little bit to allow us to operate. Quarter mile. I mean, that's fine. So let's pop smoke. And try and get into this town. Alright, so they're going to pop smoke. We're going to bound. And then that smoke's going to kind of set us up. And hopefully there's no one in this building, but we can't really like make that determination. And we're going to kind of just lay waste into a bunch of things. Wow, that vehicle straight up backed up. I was hoping he could get line of sight on this machine gun. We're just going to suppress everything up there, which is fine. Smoke's up. So we need to move quick into this. We're going to go level 1. Where's the door? Always make sure you know where the door is at. Alright, we're in the town now. Next units are going to mount on it. Machine gunners are going to come in. Alright, so we have a lot of freedom of movement right now. Who's shooting? Who's shooting? We got one casualty. That smoke's not doing us too many favors. Looks like it was our AT. So we really need to shut that building down. Let's see what these guys can do. No line of sight, so we're going to keep... which means there'd be no line of sight right here. Alright, so there's a building right there. So we have hostiles in this general vicinity. Let's see if we can pop smoke and try and obscure as we like move around this corner. So that's going to be our next thing we're going to do. So we need to keep moving. We can't just like bunker down and just like generally have a bad time. Alright, those guys have line of sight on them. So we're just going to suppress that unit. Super, super good. They're in a terrible, terrible position though still. Smoke's still up. I'm not sure how obscured it is. I'd like to pop more smoke if I had that option. So let's go like that. We're going to pop more, and then we're going to flank around and try and secure the backside of this village. We'll get our machine gunners into position once we know we can kind of move freely around. We're going to do our best to get this as a command vehicle. So we're going to reverse this unit back, and then we're going to try our best to get a few things done. I don't know why these guys are gunners. I would like to take them and put them into a better position. Oops. And then around this corner. We're going to try the old rope-a-dope once more. See if we can get some firepower in here. Alright. Alright, so we got to get these Marines out of here. This may have been like a real bad decision. I was hoping that smoke would be a lot better. Alright, we're going to move. They're going to target. So these guys are getting hammered from all kinds of... Oh, wow. Look at all of that. There's so many people in there. Once these guys are in position, we're going to begin returning fire. Let's see if we can... These guys are just so bad right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's pause real quick. Let's see what we can do. Let's clear target. Look at that. Man, that is a fight right there. We have no reinforcements either. Oh my goodness. I wonder where these guys came from. So we're suppressing that unit. We're going to try and take this guy out. All right. All right, they're on the roof. There's an enemy vehicle right in front of us. It was instantly destroyed. 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles. So we're in it now. We're in it to win it. We are absolutely committed to this fight. We're going to rotate fire right now because this guy looks like he's our nearest threat. These 2 people, I would like to sort them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, an unknown right there. 5, 6, 7. Oh wow, we are really, really underpowered for this fight. All right, what do we have? This guy needs to join. Oh, he's been suppressing. So let's clear your target. And we're going to get a machine gun team up here as well. Let's see if we can. We may be making a lot of mistakes right now. This guy, I know I'm not super comfortable with it where he's going. But with all this fighting going on, we're going to try a few things. Everyone's moving. Everyone's moving. This AT team, I'm not going to move quite yet. This command team, not quite yet. All right, let's see. Everyone's moving now. Lots of gunfire, lots of violence. All right, there we go. Kind of shutting a lot of things down. So we're going to try and get this guy right there. How did this guy keep? I want him in a position to be able to suppress this unit. Because that's someone who's really deadly to me. All right, and once he's in that position, we can kind of take some of that firepower off. All right, 2 dead. Oh, that wall's completely destroyed, man. All right, so we're working it right now. We're working it. We're in a smoke, and there's really no good place for us to move. It would be this house, so the wind's going to blow west. There's a front door right there. There's a front door right there, so we could smoke and kind of enter this building from the front, and then maybe get kind of an L-shaped attack on that building right there. That would be my next thing. Is I really want to deal with this building and kind of open up, like allow us to operate in this area much better. Or at least more freely, not much better. So let's give these guys a face. Let's pop smoke. So they're going to pop smoke. We're going to move into this building, and hopefully we can kind of shut down this angle. Maybe get this machine gun crew in here. God, these gunners get taken out so quick. I mean, it's a dangerous position, but man, they gotta... I'd hope they would be much better. All right, so what's this guy? Who's this guy dancing with? There ain't no way that guy's still alive. What do these guys look like? These guys look like they've been suppressed. So we know there's a presence there, but I really want to clear this sector before this. Because I want to set up this little flank right here, and I really would like this guy to get back online, but we'll see. And then we have 2 units who just aren't in the fight yet, so let's get these guys in the fight. We'll get our AT team up and going too. Everyone's on that wall. And then we will just start this fight again. All right, smoking. So we are going to... I'm just going to go where I know there's people. We're going to micro these guys really intensely right now. And we're just going to do this play by play. Let's see. Take the front door. Take the front door, guys. Take the front door. I'm not quite sure why they're stopping, but they need to go in, and they're choosing the back door, which is never good. So when they come to this back door, they'll be exposed right there. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to move this unit in next. Level 1. These Marines right here, we have a position we don't really know what's going on with, so we need to shut it down. We're not really receiving any fire from that position anymore, so let's rotate. It's because they're being suppressed by that heavy gun. How much ammo does this guy have? So what we're going to do, we're going to clear his target, and we're just going to say target briefly. Smoke smoking. That's really good for us. Spotted an enemy in the back. So this would be our next stop. I would like this building to be suppressed, though, and it is being suppressed. So let's grab this Marine squad. Bound and forward, level 1. We're leaving. Dangerous move. Dangerous, dangerous. All right, we've identified one more hostile. So 1, 2, penetration. So we know what's going on with that. That building is on fire. So let's set this target up. You guys have no line of sight for some reason. Once these guys are in this building, we'll begin putting some hate down range. God, that tree. Once these guys are in position, we can kind of engage that second building. How are these guys doing? These guys are pinned. All right, lots and lots and lots of fire and violence. So good. Let's get these guys into position. Nothing really for this machine gun team to attack or engage. All right, so we know there's a heavy enemy presence right there. We're kind of knocking them out. These guys were causing us a lot of trouble earlier. I would like to move you forward into this opening, which is really dangerous. So we're going to micro you intensely right now. Move, move, move. God, whoever's there, they don't like. All right, just clear target. Absolutely wrecking. So with that building suppressed, we're going to make a move. This should be more of an assault, so let's stop. Assault level 1. Machine gun team's going to bound to the next position. All right, so there's one enemy squad up there in the distance. All right, that building is absolutely shredded. So here comes our next couple of moves. We do have some movement over there on the right. All right, clear target. Just operate normally. There ain't no way that guy's in there alive. He's just pinned, right? So we're just going to bound. These guys are receiving fire. Outstanding. Come on. Put some rounds down range. Once these guys are in positions, that was a really dangerous move for us. We should have, like, suffered significant casualties right there. So the Marines are just laying waste to everything right now. I think we're doing really, really, really okay. So these guys are going to move quick to level 2. Let's get our commander up here as well, quick. This is a long run, and this is also dangerous because, I mean, look, we're crossing this open road, but, I mean, I feel like we should have a lot of people spotted out right now, or at least a lot of area. We're going to follow these guys, though. We're going to see which door they take because, remember, we're not operating very well in this area. I would prefer that they come to the back, so let's stop. And I just want you guys to go level 2 that way. I just don't want them to, like, run through this, like, kill zone right here. So if we had to micro that, that's perfectly fine. We still need to make it to crossroads. So let's get this Marine platoon or this Marine squad into position. Let's work on clearing out the rest of this. Level 1, they're going to assault. These guys are going to target. This is basically right in front of them. And we're just going to clear out these last couple pockets of resistance. We have a lot of things showing up now. Let's clear. We're in a bound. This sucks, right? Like we had to cross this open area. And then these guys need to come out of this door and kind of expose themselves. So let's see what these guys are going to do. This is really kind of dumb. I'm not like a super big fan of this move. You only get like one smoke. No, we have another smoke. I guess we have more than one smoke. All right, with that next move, we're going to keep going. There ain't no way those guys are still there, man. Target. Clear target. Marines. All right, for some reason, we're getting like stray rounds from this area right there. Ooh, look, an enemy technical. Looks like it's mostly destroyed. But I would like for you guys to... There you go. First guy is in. Come on, get in the building. All right, with that building secure, we need to start doing some assessments. So we're basically in this village. Everyone's moving into position. We need to start making some dangerous moves once again. These Marines are under fire from that 2-story. Everyone's pulling back. I guess our next thing would be to suppress that building. And we would bound forward and secure these last 2 objectives. So with that being said, we're going to move our vehicles into position so we can get ready to mount up. I think that's really what we need. I wonder if we can get this thing operational. So we don't really want this vehicle kind of operating in town. I mean, he can, but we're going to see how it goes. As you see, we're kind of pushing everyone back into that corner. So our next couple of moves would be this 2-story. There is a small little kill funnel right there. They are suppressing whoever exists in that position. So let's see if we can get these guys right here into level 1. They can kind of suppress that position. We got good line of sight on a lot of things from this position up here. So we're going to actually make some dangerous moves and maybe get on the 2nd floor. I think the 2nd floor is a little bit dangerous, but let's see what happens. So if we can get this machine gun team into position, we can maybe provide some fire support. So they're going to start suppressing. We're going to move it across this little alleyway, which is kind of a little bit of a kill zone for us. Yep, like exactly what we thought, but maybe if we suppress it, we don't have to worry about it. Once they're in level 2, they're going to have a much better line of sight. They're going to draw a lot more fire. We're going to clear target right here. I wonder if we could move up to this wall. Like, how dangerous? I mean, it's a really dangerous position. Like, it's absolutely dangerous. It's extremely exposed. There's really no hard cover. But we kind of need to speed up a little bit. We're going to clear target. I'm going to say we own that. Like I said, these guys are going to draw a lot of fire and a lot of hate when they get into position. There ain't no way those guys are still there. Just to flatten that building, my dudes. We're going to move. These guys are going to leave their hard cover. We're going to try and get people around on this backside. So right now there's fire coming from everywhere. So hopefully we can... Level 1. We'll go through the back. Remember, we need to like make a good decision. So you kind of had to manage that. That's like one downside about this game. We got to manage where we go and how we get there. All right, so the next, where's this door at? So we're basically door hopping. We're ensuring that all the places we move are safe. We could pop another smoke and kind of move into that position. So let's do this. We're going to bound to this house right here. I don't want him going in. I just want them on that back door. Marines putting a lot of hate down range. I wonder if we can get these guys into this. I mean, these guys are fairly suppressed right now. So let's keep going. Let's kind of micro this a little bit. These guys are going to get into position. We're going to push this last objective. And we're just going to keep clearing. Just keep clearing. It sucks for our gunner, but we got to scope this out somehow. Marine's going to move around this corner. We'll go into this house if necessary, which we're probably going to do. Level 1. And then once that's suppressed, we may move along, take this second story. And see, this is why we got to be careful how we micro. These Marines opted to go through the front door, right down this kill alley. So thank God we're kind of like destroying everything that's absolutely in our way. Let's keep moving. Let's grab our Marines, keep moving. See, right. There we go. I'm going to pull this guy back. Finally identified some haters. Machine gunner's going to move as well. Secure this building. Stop, actually. Move to target this guy. I'd rather you be inside when you move to target, but... And then from this position, you're going to target him. All right. Want to keep securing this flank. This town's basically ours. Let's move. All right, move. The vehicle was getting too far ahead. That wasn't good for us. All right, that is it. Oh, look at these guys. These guys totally forgot the whole war was going on. God, they're like hating that guy too. They're like, you want some? You want some? You want some? Our command element's kind of far back. Absolutely not the roof. All right, these guys are engaging that team. AT is going to move as well. And these are kind of just wide-reaching moves, so hopefully we can kind of just lay waste to everyone. This one guy way up here causing us trouble. All right, there's the command element. Let's see if we can move this technical, and that is it. Total victory. That was really, really, really good. Oh my goodness, that was really good. I'm impressed with myself. I mean, 7 wounded, 4 kill. I don't really track the wounded and killed too much. It's just not for me. 62 men okay. We lost 4 killed. We know where that happened. 22 men okay. 39 killed. 40 men wounded. 1 missing. Must have took a grenade. All right. Look at that. There was only 1 technical left down here at Crossroads. 20 minutes left out of that 50-minute scenario. So our initial approach was really, really good. This wasn't microed that well. I think the way we got into the village was done really correctly. Obviously, this northwest was done okay. These 2 houses, I thought that was actually top-notch performance by me. Not gonna lie. I'm really, really, really proud of myself. We would just keep sweeping and just eliminating house to house, especially for the size of our force. I guess we were much larger, though. And then obviously we still have these in back. But I feel like the way we handled this first engagement went really well, especially with all these vehicles kind of knocking on our door. And then this strong point up here with all these vehicles kind of went really well. And then obviously, like, everything with our smoke crossing were performed excellently. The execution in the village was performed excellently. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I think we managed our alleyways really well. And that's the game, man. $35. You can't beat it. Peace.